okay, so she is excused. I did talk to Caitlin today, and I do believe she will be here. She might be just a few minutes late. So thank you all for joining us. All right. First thing I want to talk about is the gate. I don't want to talk about the gazebo. Did I put that on the? Let's strike gazebo. That was street. Sorry about that. Movie night. Were you able to talk to the community association about the donation?
We have our board meeting on Thursday, so those are bi-monthly at this point. So it'll be the first time I get with them as a group.
On Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I did let you guys know that Angie Stage was able to secure a $425 donation from Golden Corral. We do have that. Could I have a motion to accept that donation?
You'll do it at council?
We'll do that at council?
Yep, it's on your guys'
Okay.
agenda.
We'll do that at council. We'll get a recommendation to accept that $425. So we will have at least one more movie night, which will be in June. I have here,
So are you guys gonna set that because you may not have another meeting
Yes.
until it's too late if you guys
yes,
wanna advertise
And I have
that?
the date recommended that we talked about last time. I think that was June
June
27th.
27th. And I would assume you want to advertise that, so you may want to pick a movie,
Yes, why I
so you
got
could
the vote.
advertise it. Yeah.
June 27th at Mason Park.
Do you guys wanna make a recommendation for that?
I will make a recommendation that we have that June 27th at Mason Park.
Real quick, can I ask a question? Is
Mhm.
that coincide, I know Sarah and I had a chat once upon a time about that coinciding with the youth association, like, party. Is that a thing or no?
I don't remember, I know she
I
said,
don't remember that.
she did, she's the one that said that that date was the best for them, I thought, the
Okay.
last meeting.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know if that
she's
was what it
trying
was,
to make it that same day so that she can bring more.
Okay.
So maybe that's her goal.
We'll find out.
Okay, I just wanted to know if that was talked about. Okay, yeah, I'll second that. Dee.
Okay, so that was that Joyce that did that first?
Yes.
And then Heather?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Any opposed? I looked through it. My first recommendation for a movie was Zootopia 2. And then I'm gonna pass this around and you guys look. It will be by majority. And my second recommendation was Bad Guys 2. They're both PG. I have not seen them. I don't know if you guys have. But those are my recommendations and I will pass it around. You guys wanna pass it around?
You don't know the favorite?
I like Zootopia, I don't know about this bag.
I don't either, but it looked cute to me. Bad Guys look good.
Yeah.
Do you have a reference?
I mean, I love Zootopia,
Okay.
so, but I can care less. Like,
Yeah.
my kids like either.
You guys wanna go with Zootopia 2 for the next movie? All right, all in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Oh, somebody needs to make a motion.
Okay, Nathan made the motion, have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? So we're gonna go with Zootopia.
Is that Zootopia 1, 2, or is that? Okay,
I'll call the library and get that reserved.
okay, I will.
And do you wanna go with, if we get a third movie, let's just be proactive, if we get a third movie, do we wanna go with Bad Guys? Bad Guys 2.
Sure, that's fine.
I'll make that motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, and we're gonna go to July.
So are we, kind of shooting for the Bad Guys 2 for the July, what we said, maybe July 3rd?
We're not gonna do that, and here's why. I've had some feedback on that. I'm getting feedback on having it on town lawn, so I think I would like to have the recommendation just for the Mason Park. That's gonna go ahead and give the concession stand their opportunity to continue making money down there. And, we won't have to worry about the kids being in the street. So that's my recommendation, to go ahead and have it just at Basin Park. That's my calendar. Can I get, a motion to make that acceptable?
So is this a recommendation to hold at Mason Park?
Yes, where we normally do.
Okay, what's the date?
I'm looking, I'm trying to find my calendar, because they updated my phone and everything's all jabberwocky. So in July, we would have the 11th, 18th, or 25th.
Isn't the sign usually say the last Saturday of every month?
Okay, that would be the 25th. Hi, how are ya? Good. Okay, so I'll make a motion, we have it on July 25th, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Aye, any opposed?
Okay.
Okay, I have Caitlin entering in at
6:08.
Welcome, Caitlin. Okay, we just discussed movie nights.
Okay.
We're gonna do Zootopia 2 on June 27th.
Okay.
Bad Guys 2 on July 25th, okay?
Yep.
And of course, May 22nd, on a Friday night, I'm gonna correct that poster.
Yeah.
We're gonna do,
Is it Paddington?
Paddington in Peru.
Oh, it's in Peru?
Paddington in Peru.
Didn't we do that last year?
No,
they advertised it was
we advertised it, but we
So
didn't
we
do it.
didn't do it,
It kept
okay.
getting canceled.
Okay.
When
Yes.
is the Paddington in Peru at?
May 22nd, on a Friday night. Okay. Want to talk about, we voted last council meeting to accept Angela Stage to our committee. Angela got a promotion at work. She's their new advertiser, promotional, expert, which I'm not surprised because of all of the fundraisers and money she raises for Golden Corral and Camp Corral and everything. So she still wants to be involved in making money for us and fundraising, and she still wants to be involved in Party in the Park and doing things like that. She can't come to the meetings though, because her hours are gonna change in what she's doing. So she had to resign from the committee, so we still do need one person. I have another person that is interested in being on the committee. She's just not sure if that's gonna work out or not because of her kids and their schedules. So, still looking for one more person. As soon as this other gal gets back with me. Any other questions on movie night?
Can I just give a little background? I said no, only because we talked about at the last Parks and Rec meeting to, allow Next Gen to do this first one, which I was happy to do, to include on indoor events and extend that, and my suggestion last time was, well, let's do that with other groups, other activities. So I made the suggestion that we do, here on town hall lawn, as they've done in the past, only we would shut down these streets like they kind of do for these First Fridays. And have it on the lawn following the first Friday in July. So
With food
that,
trucks and all
yes,
that,
Joyce just came back and said that her, what was it?
My recommendation.
Her recommendation was to not do that and then to just move it to July in the park. So I just wanted to give that little bit of background. So we are now doing the next two, it sounds like, trying to do.
At Mason Park.
Still again.
Again,
Okay.
Which
okay.
helps the youth league with their.
It helps the youth league with the concession, and I've had 4 people approach me not in favor of that. A couple from the community, a couple residents, so I brought it back to the committee, we're gonna have it at Mason Park,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. I definitely think, cause I don't know if you're familiar with I've been doing it, what, 2 years now?
What? What?
The party, or the, movies in the
Huh?
park
You have.
volunteering, not many people come to them, they're not,
We
there's not
usually
a
have
ton
about
of
50 people.
Not a ton, I mean, not as
Sarah
many
had
as
the
you'd think.
Sarah
Yeah.
said the same feedback, that they didn't have information.
It's not as many as you'd think, as you'd hope, right? I mean, I've seen some other events where you're like, dang, there's a lot, you know, a lot more people than I've seen at other events. So I do see, you know, Heather's point of possibly in the future then having it combined that way. Again, we just need more people to make the money, right? The more people we get there, the better the events and things and community would be. So I see where you're going with that as well, to try and get the
I just thought we could test it to see where the action would actually happen.
right. And that's what I'm also concerned at having it on a Friday night at Next Gen, which is totally different.
Right.
And we don't have concession, but we do have local vendors of, down home treats that
Right.
is gonna be there, doing their stuff, so they'll have popcorn, cotton candy, you know, movie stuff, and try to help local as well, but I do see your point of trying to get more people, so.
It's good, well,
hopefully-
maybe we can advertise more or do something a little different, but I'm gonna, the recommendation's been made, the vote's been passed, so we're gonna go with that.
You got it.
Okay, so moving on to the parking lot, the parking lot is gonna be closed at Mason Park. They're gonna be, doing the repairs on it on May 15th. So it's gonna be closed. Andy's gonna have the guys rope it off for May, 16th and 17th. So nobody can park down there. Sarah's gonna have them for practices on this, whatever, the 15th or 16th or whatever they're practicing, they're gonna park off in the grass.
What's the
Okay.
18th?
15th, 16th, and 17th, and they'll open it up on the
So
evening.
that's this coming weekend?
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Courtney, I know you weren't here today, but, and I didn't get a chance to call Mary, but it didn't come in while I was working. Sarah was supposed to drop off a check for $425 or $475, what did she say? For parking for the weekend. $475 from Ed. She didn't give you anything?
I got in here a half an hour before the last
Okay,
meeting,
that's
so I
okay.
haven't checked.
We're getting a check for $475, so
Okay.
we'll accept that at the next council meeting,
Okay,
okay? And she said the next tournament will be much bigger and the money will be much more. Okay, so that'll go into the Perk and Rec Fund. Andy and I have been talking, actually we started talking about it last year and it did not come to fruition. But we've been talking about doing some advertising at Mason Park. I know Adam's dream was to get a home run fence back there. That did not come to fruition. So, and that's unfortunate, but it's still not out of reach at some point in time. However, we do have fences down there, we have backstops, we have other things, and we would like to start doing some advertising with the park. We have people that can make signs. They can do banners, they can do signs, and we can sell them, and we can advertise their businesses. I know other parks do it, Madison Mills does it, I know we used to do it when the kids went to Hamilton Township. You've even thought about it, I think you had thought about it too. So, I wanna hear your thoughts, how do we wanna go about advertising? How do we wanna go about selling the advertising? Do we wanna, I'm not a fan of separate committees. Do we wanna work as a unit here and each of us take certain businesses and contact them? How do we wanna do that? I'm open for suggestions.
I would like to start out by saying, just out of experience, banners with wind and things like that easily rip off. And are we prepared to replace them? How is that gonna work? And I will say that the signs Mick has made me in the past that just go in the yard are still there 2.5 years later. So that may be something to think about on how we choose what they can have. Cause I know if I paid $300 for a banner, let's say, and it blew down a week later, I'd be a little irritated about
I know the
Yeah, it is
grommets,
crazy.
the grommets that Mick puts in the banners or the signs
Mhm.
and puts them on the fences don't blow down.
Really?
I don't think they do.
They don't blow down. I've never seen them blow down.
Okay.
Um,
Cause I mean, even the, I've had where the, zip ties just
Yeah.
rip through it. It's not that they are bad quality, it's just that there's high winds and stuff blowing through those fences and it's catches them and blows them, so that's all. Maybe again, if they're smaller, maybe it wouldn't be, you know, if it's a big one, I would be worried about it ripping. I even had one that was not Mick, I had one made too and ripped right through it. The wind just cut a
and
hole
which
right
ones
in it.
are staying
It's, the yard, they're like little yard
on the
signs.
aluminum,
It's not aluminum, is it? It's just
metal
it's
stands?
just like
They're plastic.
they have a metal stand, yep, and they're plastic, yep, and I've had grass cutters cut around them and, I mean, those suckers are still in there, so. I would recommend that as a good material, at least, that would hold up,
Okay.
from my experience, so that's all I have.
So,
I've seen at some of the parks, like when we was traveling at the, is it Eden or something like that?
Kevin?
Heaven, I think it had on their concession area, on the wall, they had like a separation and they had a lot of sponsors up there. And it was like where you can interchange them out, but they had it blocked behind like a case or something.
Well, why wouldn't you have it on the concession? So
Uh,
like if, say, you know, Billy Bob Joe's Crab Shack does it and you put it on on the fence, what if I don't go to that fence?
Right.
So I mean, what would be the purpose of advertising that? Why wouldn't you want it in a place of
Where everybody kind of goes to.
everybody that would go to it?
Maybe they get.
So I mean, the fence would probably be a horrible idea unless you are a youth league and they sponsored a certain field. But, I mean, why wouldn't you do it where most visibility is?
That's what a lot of the facilities we've been to, and then other things I've been a part of with them is there's different tiers, right? Think of a hospital, right? You donate so much money to a hospital, they might name a wing out.
Mhm.
Or you get a temporary thing and a walkway, depends on what your tier is. And a lot of these organizations will do, you can have a permanent sponsorship dollar amount where you get a big metal display that's weatherproof permanent, you know, becomes a fixture with it. And then you have your season or yearly memberships, and a lot of it in regards to those banners, you know, when we was starting to advertise with it, you know, you get every kid to sign it and it goes back to the business. It becomes something, if they wanna donate it to us to carry forward, that's great, but a lot of times, some of these people, I have some customers in my industry where they have walls of these banners to show that they are proudly sponsoring different communities and activities with them. So some of these people wear it as a badge of honor that they did something good back, and they got a commemorative, you know, recipient for it, you know what I mean? But generally up by the concessions is a great point.
Well, I mean, it's just like if you ever go to a sporting event. If you go to a gym, you go to a football field, it's not down the walkway, it's not down the hallways, there's nobody walking down the hallways at a school. It's usually on a scoreboard where people are visibly seeing it.
Yep.
I wonder if you could hang banners, I don't know what you guys, I haven't been there in a little while, but if you could hang banners from the rafter a little bit, like, and have them hung there of the big, you know, the bigger tier,
Yeah.
if you will, like
Yeah.
you're saying, then at the end, we take it down, you know, teams can sign it, after a tournament or something like that, and gift it back, type
Yeah.
of deal. Be an idea, cause I think it'd be kinda cool to sit under there and eat and have the different, you know, things to see around there, so.
you can do a two-sided banner in that respect, you can see it from both sides.
True.
Yeah. All ideas are good ideas, and you can even take some of the signs like you were talking about that you have, Caitlin, and you can put even those on a backstop.
So those that are business owners, they specifically want to donate to certain things. So what would be your vision? What would be your mission on when you would go to a Billy Bob Joe's Crab Shack and said, hey, we want to buy a red Ferris wheel? Would that be what you're advertising? I mean, there has to be a source behind it and a mission on what you're going to advertise. So you can't just say we want you to donate to the park. I mean, there has to be some sort of project you guys have an idea that you could draw upon.
You're also gonna have to figure out how you're soliciting. I understand you guys talk about doing it for the park. Most of these organizations, my understanding, talking to these people, is go back to the organizations, not the village of the park. Now, some of these are privately owned pieces of property, right? They're not all public entities, but some are. But the village itself kind of traditionally allows, I remember going up in Brownsburg, was that way. JFK Park belonged to the city of Brownsburg, they help maintain. But all the fundraising, the sponsorship banners and all that kind of stuff, that was money that organization got to maintain to help fund their own growth. Now, they worked in cohesion with the village for bigger projects and goals. Maybe it was criteria, you come up with X, we come up with Y, and we equal the Z goal, right? But it's, you guys
I mean,
have
like
to
a
clear,
youth
you guys, you guys have to clearly outline that.
But I
as
mean, it's
far
like
as-
a youth league, you know what your purpose is, and that is to
Correct, yeah.
sponsor a third-year-old T-ball league.
Yeah.
I mean, so there has to be some sort of mission that you guys are going, you know, because a lot of businesses will probably be like, well, what's the money going towards?
In that regard, yes, yeah.
So for this, how, if we did something, for whatever the purpose would be at the concessions, it wouldn't interfere.
So what is the
Yeah.
purpose that we're trying to raise the money, I guess, is the main question.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
For one,
We're gonna do that.
we need a funding, we need a budget to be able to keep movie nights going if we're gonna keep doing movie nights. Cause we can't just, right now, we don't know if we're gonna
We
have a
don't.
third movie night, because we don't know if we're gonna
We
get a
don't have
donation.
the funds.
So I mean, that could be one thing, I mean, extra money going into as needed for parking lot repairs, I mean.
Mm.
So I mean, as a general, I mean, I said movie night would be the biggest one as far as like, for the community side, but as far as like, when we're talking to the business, even bringing up, you know, keeping the park maintained in regards to the parking lot, things like that the Parks and Rec is responsible for.
Yeah, it would have to go back into, it would be a part of maintaining the park and the events of the park, such as movie nights specifically.
No,
What if, and again, I'm just throwing this idea out there, cause I do think a lot of people would support adding a walkway or a pathway to the park. I think a lot of people have been asking for that for quite some time and would therefore possibly donate towards that to know that they could access this park on any given day. I know that the new housing development coming in is
They're
going
gonna
to
put
do-
it in.
Well,
They're gonna put one
they
in.
said they were doing like a partial sidewalk, so it was going from there to the park.
Right.
So it's not from here
Not
to
from
the
here.
park.
Not for the
I don't-
existing families,
yeah.
get
Right.
your kids down there now, so.
And I know that I've talked to a lady, and God help me with her name, Kelly maybe. She owns the house next to the water treatment plant, and she mentioned that years ago they talked about putting a sidewalk through there into the park, or even by J. Carr or something, I don't know.
With the streets side, I'm looking into a grant possibly, what was it, TAP? Is
Yep.
that what it is?
Mhm.
And we have, and that, but we would, cause what was it, 80%, 80/20, I think?
Yep.
Okay, so there's a reason to earn
And so
some
there's a
money.
20%.
What's a purpose? And if we were selling advertisement for,
Park
you could
sidewalk
be
grants.
on the pathway, we could represent your company with
Oh.
the signage on the pathway. That would be a purpose, and that would be something people would wanna buy.
Sorry, give me a second.
But I do think you almost have to
I
do it in
process
tiers,
too.
just like the youth league does, tiered sponsorships. Because not everyone's gonna be able to afford a giant sign on the pathway, if that's what we
What's your,
decide.
what's your thoughts for right now?
I think that's a big asking.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
you're not
way
gonna get, if,
more right now.
say for instance, the walking path is $500,000. The village has to contribute 20% of that. Do you think that the local businesses will provide that kind of money?
Right,
I think that's a big wish. I think that deserves a grant
absolutely.
aspect, but I think the little tiny, when you are reaching for small apples on a tree, you can't reach at the very top, because remember, you gotta get a ladder. So to get the little ones to still make events in the community and still make an impact in the community, like holding the movie nights and having those, however, tied to events or not tied to events, but you're able to pay for them. So you're getting people out there. You can provide literature during those times and say, hey, like, what about, I don't know, building a red Ferris wheel there? I mean, You know, what if there's an addition onto the, you know, playground that everybody would like to have? What if it's, you know, maintenance, like you guys just talked about, to the park? I mean, there's always, you know, brick dust has not been purchased in several years. Maybe it's a contribution to that, for youth league, or, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just saying, that's a big ask to ask.
The sidewalk.
Yes, yeah. And down 207, I would not let my kid even step foot on
Well,
207.
and that's, so that
I
one,
showed him
I
the
think
one
was,
down by your.
it's
car
down
wash.
62, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be a lot to, you know, hope that your kids are safe walking on a
It's
36-inch
It's a big
walk path.
wish. It's a positive approach, and I think it's doable down the road, but it's not something I think we should start out with. But I think it's a good goal. We're talking about, on the finance committee, starting next month, we're going to look at a capital, improvement plan and get that started, and that might be something we can throw in there. I don't know if that's something we can throw in there or not.
It is a capital improvement.
Yeah, so I think that's something we can start looking at through
That
that.
new housing development's gonna bring a lot of opportunity for us in the near
Yeah,
future.
I
I mean, I think a lot of it too is a big ask is the extension of the parking lot.
But I
Right
think-
now, people are
Parking wherever.
parking in wherever,
Yeah.
and that's a problem.
But I think with the advertising, there are a lot of different ways they can research to get some advertising going, and we can start small and we can work our way up. We don't have to come out with a lot of banners. We can do some things at the concession stand. I would like to see advertisement out in the fields too.
Well, and, you know, if I can, may ask, add to this, is Megan, if you all haven't seen what she's gonna be developing, so it's like maybe not having something that maybe is already being developed like that. So I mean, think of when you go to other parks, what does that look like? And having something that's different, that's being offered.
I know when we did it.
Not like a dog park or anything like
I
that.
was gonna say, she's doing the dog park and
Right,
stuff,
she
like
is.
Splash Pad would be
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
When we did it at Hamilton Township, we literally did put sponsorship ads on the back of the backstops. And they held fine. They held, we never had any problems, they held fine. And then we had fencing, I don't remember, I think on the Pony Leagues, they had home run fences. But on the other fences that we had around the diamonds, we put advertisements on that as well that we don't have.
So the youth league does already advertise on those fences during season.
And that's what I was talking about too, was
But we
that's
don't.
where it
So we
interferes
have
with their
to
fundraising, because
designate.
that's where, when people are there, they're gonna be by the fences, which I get what you're saying, you wanna see the advertisements there, but that's how the youth league.
Well, we don't want it
makes it.
to
Right, that's
we
how the
won't
current
let
youth
it
league and I know
Right.
Can we
Tri
do the
County did.
concession
Yeah.
with?
But that's why I said
I think
Something
that's
around the
probably
concession.
where we should probably.
Cause I don't see any advertisements there, so.
No.
And it's open all year round,
The
like,
only
you know what I'm
thing-
saying, if
For the most part.
somebody's
Right.
sitting in there eating
Yeah.
lunch, they
For the
still
most
see
part,
it,
them
right?
Well,
ball
what
fields
she was
is
saying, like,
empty
even if we
outside
had
of
a
when
big-
the
Yeah.
organizations
It's
are
not
not.
bad,
Yeah.
it's not a bad
So-
We can have 'em.
Yeah, I think that should be an option.
I just
You
don't
could
wanna
put QR
plaque-
codes on there, a lot of people that
I
are
just
in
don't wanna put
technology,
plaque.
if you're looking for a painter,
Yeah.
do a QR code and they could give you estimated prices.
Yeah,
And
and they're nice. Okay, I wanna move on if there's nothing else. We're on borrowed time here because we need to stop till, to give Courtney some time to get preparation for council. Yeah. For Persian Park, I have a lot of volunteers already. I have a list. We need to think about donors and sponsors. We're gonna have our, host of vendors again. I already have one, vendor who's not gonna be considered a food truck, they're just gonna be a vendor. And I have one food truck that committed last year but had to cancel at the last minute because of another commitment came up. They had been trying to get into Obet's Zucchini Fest for years, and at the last minute, they got a hold of him. And she asked me if I could excuse her, and of course I did. That's a good opportunity for her, and I listened to her. But anyway, I called her, and she remembered, and she's, wants to come this year.
so did you say you have one food truck committed and then one sponsor? Is that what you just said?
No, I said I have one, Down Home Treats is gonna come, but they're gonna be more like set up with the tents and the vendors, and not food trucks.
So not a food truck.
They're not a food truck. And 614 fully loaded is a big to-go, and they're pretty popular throughout.
Okay, I think I'm missing, okay, so we have one food truck committed and one vendor committed. Okay.
Did you check with Hammer Times food truck?
I forgot they do have that now.
They now have a food truck, so that might be a good one to,
Mhm.
I mean, even though they're right there, I don't know if that's pointless, but at least get the name out there.
I'm gonna get, the normal rule, is 2 savories, a dessert. 2 savories, a dessert, and something else I can't remember right now. I'm not gonna bombard them with a lot of competition, cause I want them to make money.
Mhm.
So, I definitely want 614 fully loaded, and then, I'm not sure if the other one, maybe a Mexican, maybe, I don't know, I'll look at it. Last year we had, Andrea's Kitchen, you guys remember them? But they kinda left early, so that kind of was a bummer. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna ask her back. And that's who 614 fully loaded likes to set up beside. They usually team up, but that might be good, so I don't know.
And I'm sorry, is this for Party in the Park? Are we, as of like, just like last year, are you planning on doing a beer garden?
Don't know, I don't think so. I don't know if we are or not. It's up to the Legion if they want to do it or not.
Okay.
Last year, we had the Ohio State game that we were competing with, Ohio State-Michigan game. We don't have that this year, that's why I'm having it on October 10th. That's the least of the games that we'd be in competition with, according to the Ohio State people out there. So, October 24th, they have a bye, so I could have done it that day, but that's late in the season and it might just be cold. And so I think that might be a deterrent. So, can I count on you on the committee for Party in the Park like last year, helping out?
I do run the summer camp, so as long as I can do that, I'm fine with
Okay.
that. Shouldn't have a problem, cause I know I had to come late and relieve, Misty. So, I'll help wherever I can.
Adam, would your league like to still put on a round robin?
We haven't even thought about it, I'm sure we can. I know it looks like we're having 2, and after some more additions, we might have 3 teams again without leaving Jimmy's team. And then with the tournaments we've already been looking at, I'm not gonna say guarantee count us in, but I'm saying if we have 0, we should be able to pull it off.
It's October 10th.
Yeah, that's why I said with that enough time, with the amount of teams we're getting set up, we'd like to have it to where we could have at least, 4 teams. I don't wanna have to do a double elimination, but we can.
Okay,
Cause it looks like we'll have 3
okay,
for us, and then with playing out that Berliner group and then
okay,
West Jeff team,
okay.
we should be able to get 4 teams.
Because that worked out really well last year.
Yeah.
I thought it did.
Yeah.
I have reached out to Susan Thomas from MRDD, and I have asked her, for her recommendation on special needs equipment. Cause I'd like to have an area, like, off to itself for special needs children. For portable, I'm asking her if they have any or know of any, or how can we purchase, or where can we purchase, or who can donate for us to get access, or if they can bring some portable equipment for special needs children so we can set up an area for them.
Do we have enough, do we have a need for that?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes, we do.
okay.
I know I have a grandson that's 4, that's autistic,
Okay.
nonverbal. I have a friend that has a 2-year-old son that is autistic. I have another lady that's reached out from the Wallfield that has special needs.
I'm just thinking of all the parks I've been to, I'd be curious, as a mother with an autistic child,
Mhm.
what are you looking for with
Well, she reached out on Facebook, and I saw it,
Okay.
for one of the Friday night events. And so I reached out to her, and, I told her that I would come down to the ball field one night and find her. I don't know if you know her or not. Chelsea Adams is her name? Okay, so I'm gonna be looking for someone, if and when we can secure either them bringing equipment down and we find volunteers for that area, or if they bring a volunteer down or something. As often as we have events, to have that happen. But I'll work with her on seeing what we can do, either to secure equipment or whatever we need to do, how to purchase it, how to get a grant for it, whatever. But I want it to be portable so we can use it often. And I was wondering, Heather, if that would be something that, and I know you're expecting, so I don't wanna ask you to do too much because I know how busy you are. But is that something that you might be able to, if you could is that something you would be willing to help with, that area? Or is there another area, a party in the park, that you would be interested in helping with?
I mean, as far as suggestions, I mean, in that Facebook post, she had some great suggestions, so did others. I don't think it would be too difficult to set up an area like
Right.
that. If we could get a fire truck down there, the touch the truck is
We had that last year.
sensory type of thing.
Mhm.
If we had, I mean, I myself have several sandboxes. Sandboxes are considered sensory play. So anybody with kids, and I mean, I have some that even are standing sandboxes. They're water tables turned sandboxes.
Right.
You could do it with sand, you could do it with birdseed, you could do it with water.
I was gonna say even food coloring and water, they
Yeah.
love to,
You could do
with different
shading
colors
green
and stuff.
boxes, so there's lots of different sensory type stations, that could easily be put together, I think. Bubbles is a good
That'd be
one.
an easy, fun one.
Yeah.
If even if we set up a little tent and had a bubble, you know, where you could just kinda stand in and have bubbles and not lights and a bunch of music and stuff, but we could just have
The
that.
painting rocks,
Yeah, rock painting,
that's
a
an
good one.
easy one.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we can have a tent for that. And I was also thinking about reaching out to Home Depot and see if they can set up a tent for crafts.
Yeah, I like their stuff.
And if they couldn't, could they donate the materials? And then we could get somebody
Yeah.
to make
Maybe
that
Hunter
tent.
could do it or something,
Sure,
depending on
sure.
work schedule and
Somebody
stuff,
crafty.
but.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. Okay. And Nathan, you've offered to help somewhere, doing something, and I know Adam will be there with the team if he can be. So I'm probably gonna be at town hall more and more each day, in the mornings anyway. And then, I've got quite a list of, volunteers here, and like I say, I'm not gonna set up a bunch of committees, but we're gonna be doing some donations and getting sponsors and doing fundraising, and most of our fundraising does come from sponsors. I know CPI, donated $500 last year. I'm gonna be going back to them. Instead of doing donation letters, I think with letters, we only got 2 or 3, I mean, which is fine, but I think we're gonna do more in person, like, and Angie Stage is very good at that, so her day's off are Thursday. So I'm probably gonna take, Thursdays and go around with her. And, Misty has offered on her lunch hour, she takes an hour on, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we might do some local businesses on those days, or maybe on a Saturday on some of the businesses that are open. If in the event the Legion is not interested in partnering with us this year, they're under new management with the canteen. So I don't know what I haven't talked to Angie Swingberg as the manager there, so she's the gal that I have to approach. I don't know what her thoughts are, but I will go to them first since they were there last year and see what their thoughts are. If they are not interested in partnering this year for whatever reason, I understand it. I'm still going to them for a donation. for
Did
sponsorship.
something go wrong last year for them?
No,
not to
no,
be
no,
in?
no,
Okay.
no, nothing, everything went well.
Okay.
They,
'Cause it was pretty poppin' from what I
We lost
remember.
But financially, from the beer garden last
Oh, they
year.
lost
they
money.
did,
We lost
well, but they
money.
had to pay $800 for insurance. Okay, because
There was a few.
You have to have
there was a
event
few
insurance.
People that came in there and drank, but realistically, all they did was pay for a special event to take
Yeah.
people who were already gonna be at
Yeah.
Legion drinking
I
Yeah.
get
and
it.
go watch a football
So
game
they didn't-
outside. They didn't.
Right, they didn't buy
No.
raffle tickets
No.
or contribute.
they
No.
didn't,
No, they, not in that regard, no. It wasn't-
Right.
Well, from a business overhead, it was not a, it did not.
they didn't
yield
lose
any
money
money.
on the beer,
Okay.
because what they didn't sell to patrons,
Gains back, yeah.
my son bought it.
Right.
My son who lives in Reynoldsburg, they entertain all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Well, still, I
they,
mean,
yeah,
I
so
mean,
they
that's-
did not lose money on
I
the
hear,
beer.
I hear what you're
But
saying.
by the time they paid for their insurance
Right.
and, you know, the raffle stuff that they gave away and stuff, yeah, they probably, they did lose. But that's not a deterrent from them doing it again, because they learned from their mistakes and will do it better this time. This time we are not going to rent games to play. We are going to make them.
6:43.
Is what?
6:43.
Okay, we got 2 minutes. So that's just some ideas to give you guys of what we're thinking. So, yeah, Misty and I are gonna be working on raffles, raffle items, products and stuff like that, but we're gonna do most of that on Saturdays. We'll be doing all of that on Saturdays and during the evenings. My time here during the day will be making phone calls to get, calling like Tractor Supply, calling the places I wanna get with Dick's, Kroger's, all these people, I have to get with them now in order to get something for October. Anybody that has any recommendations on companies that like to donate, let me know. What else do I have? I don't have anything else, does anybody else have? I know I've gone through this fast, my tooth's killing me, so I'm pretty well done.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Just regarding the grant, I know last month we said the engineer is not looking into this one yet because he's busy with other projects. I imagine summer is just a really busy time regardless. So is it on the docket to be on the engineer to look into this pathway? The grant, did you say the grant was due in October?
So, yeah.
So I just, that'll come faster than we think. So is that the engineer need to look at that before we apply for this grant?
I don't know. You're looking into that.
They do, but right now, this is Spring Street, they're pretty backed up right now, so.
Yeah, we've got a big Spring Street project, then we've got a London Street project. Mayor, I don't,
I'm sorry, I must not have been at this last meeting, and I'm not aware of the engineer looking into the pathway. I think
Neither
that,
am
I think that we have to understand what the application process is first.
maybe Nathan can come in and talk to you about the grant that he's looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be,
The engineer knows what the TAP grant is.
Right,
Okay.
He's aware of what that is.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
okay. But it's not something we're gonna jump right on, I didn't think.
It is, from our side, we're a little booked at the moment, so.
Oh,
But we gotta have everything pre-ready for it.
and is that an 80/20?
That it is, but there's another option for
A safety.
the 20% potentially, but they say to plan for the 80/20.
I remember you telling me about that.
Plan for the 80/20, but the other 20% we can apply for it to be done as well.
Okay,
But you're not
I do
guaranteed
remember
for it.
that, okay. All right, can you come in and talk to Andy about that one-on-one with him? All right. Anything else? The only thing I have for you is we need to get together on the contract. And do you have a concession key?
I still do, yeah. I actually brought them. I don't know which one's which, but shit, keep it brought them.
I just need those.
Yep.
Anything else? Thank you, everyone.